Now, the Bank of Japan is set to hold a two-day policy meeting on January the 23rd, 24th, and 2025. It's going to deliberate on a potential interest rate hike from the current 0.25% up to 0.45%. You can see here that's the current level, and it's just debating whether to go up to that 0.5% level. So the major thing to be looking for here is, will the Bank of Japan end up hiking interest rates? And if it does, how has the yen reacted over the previous 25 years? You can see that the Bank of Japan's only hiked interest rates 4 times, twice in 2024 and then once in 2007, 2006. And if you just look at it, you can see here that the maximum gain in the dollar-yen pair has been 0.86% here in 2006, and the maximum fall was minus 0.39% in the dollar-yen, and that was in the last interest rate hike from the Bank of Japan on the 1st of August last year. So that just gives us a sense of what to expect. Now, if you look at short-term interest rate markets, you can see that the Bank of Japan is expected to hike up to 0.545% with a outside chance that they're going to hike straight to 5% or up to 0.550% rather. So that's like a 20 basis point rate hike would take you to 0.45, and a 30 basis point hike would be to 0.550%. So if they do hike by 30 basis points, that'll be a surprise. You'd expect dollar yen downside. So that's definitely something to look for. But otherwise, look, the hike is priced in by short-term interest rate markets. And if you look at what economists are expecting, look, everyone's expecting the interest rate hike to be up to 0.5%. So if they do hike, it's only going to be what the markets are expecting. So that may set off a buy the rumor, sell the fact response in the dollar yen. So that's what to look for. Typically, if a central bank hikes interest rates, that should strengthen the yen, dollar yen downside. But if it's already priced in and already expected, we may see the dollar yen actually gain on a Bank of Japan interest rate decision. So that's certainly something to look for. From a technical perspective, big support at 156 with that weekly trend line, big resistance up at that 161 level. Of course, the major risk here is a couple of things. First of all, the outlook for the dollar yen will depend on the Bank of Japan policy reaction, and a larger than expected rate hike or even no rate hike cannot be ruled out. So that could result in significant volatility. Also, what you have to remember is the higher the dollar yen goes, the more likely there is to be intervention from the Bank of Japan. So it can be quite complicated, this release. If we start going up to that 160, 161 region, you may very well see the Bank of Japan do what's called jawboning and talk up the yen. So it could be a very volatile event. It's definitely something to be looking out for. Remember, sign up here for literally thousands more seasonal insights that are just waiting to be revealed. Don't just trade it, but season exit.